Oh, hi. Newspaper these days, it's either filled with Bihar elections or the COVID pandemic. While on the Bihar elections, I am not sure, but on the COVID front, we do seem to have some good news finally. India seems to have achieved the proverbial peak somewhere in the middle of September, maybe September 17th. Because on September 17th, India recorded its highest ever number of positive cases, close to around 97,000. And ever since, we have been consistently observing a decline in the numbers with occasional increase here and there. So now each and every Indian can feel the ecstasy that a trekker would feel when he sees the mountains for the first time, when he sees the peaks for the first time. Oh, hi, good morning. Good morning, good morning. What's happening? Acha, no, I was just shooting a video for YouTube. You seem to be going out somewhere? Oh, actually, I'm going to office today. But haven't IT companies given work from home? Yeah, they had given work from home till now, but now they're saying now that the peak has come, now you come. Okay, okay. But these are the tough times, you have to be very careful. Where is your mask? What about social distancing? Great, 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 great. And are we forgetting something? Stop it, stop it, stop it. Cool. Yeah. Please, please carry on, carry on. Most of us are frightened, are scared, even to think of getting infected with the COVID virus, and rightly so. Because unless a person actually gets infected, nobody knows whether that particular person would be making a complete recovery, spending considerable time in the hospital, or even worse. I am sure you must have heard it from people saying that the COVID pandemic will meet its eventual end once each and every person within the country gets infected with the virus and makes a complete recovery. Well, guess what? We are in for a surprise here. What started as a whisper, what started as a murmur in South Korea, where the first case of reinfection with COVID virus was reported, now it has come out in the open. And an 89-year-old woman in Netherlands had made a complete recovery from COVID virus, which was a miracle considering her age. And she was also a cancer patient. But on contacting the virus for the second time, she couldn't survive. This goes on to show us that the virus is not something very similar to a common cold as we were perceived to believe. In India, a lady was discharged after contacting COVID virus, and within a month she contacted the virus for the second time. To make it easier for us to understand the severity of contacting the COVID virus for the second time, I have a small exercise here for you. What I have here is 4 chits, 2 of which are marked with a tick mark, which signifies survival, and the 2 are marked with a cross, which means not a happy ending. Now, since we do not have the correct data, we do not have the correct information regarding the factors which either help a person to make a complete recovery or are detrimental for the survival of the infected person, let us give any person a 50-50% chance of surviving the COVID infection. So let's assume a person who has contacted the COVID virus for the first time. Out of the 4 chits here, let's say he picks up one, and it turns out that he does survive for the first infection, which means that the person's body is not as fit as it used to be before he got infected with the COVID virus. So we can take out this option of survival. Now, if the same person happens to contact the virus for the second time, which may be of a different strain altogether, his body is not as capable of defending itself as it used to be before the first case of infection. Now, out of the 3 chits here, he has only 1 chit which can signify his chances of survival. What if I were to challenge you to take a entrance examination comprising questions which are of multiple choices from a subject which you have never heard of in your whole life, a subject which is very much novel to you? What are the chances of you getting the required pass marks? Negligible, right? It all depends on your luck. Now, let me bring something new to the discussion. Let me tell you that half an hour before to the examination, I give you a book which comprises of mock test papers which resemble the question paper that you're going to attempt in half an hour's time. You would say slightly greater chances of passing the test. Now let me make it even easier for you. Let's say half an hour before the test, I happen to give you the exact question paper and ask you to memorize the answers for all the 100 questions so that you at least are able to qualify the paper. Pretty confident, huh? But here is the thing. Your memory is in question. If you are able to memorize the answers half an hour before to the exam, you might actually end up qualifying the exam. But otherwise, there is nothing anybody could do. Now, let me substitute some of the words that I have used in this example with the ones that I want to discuss right now. Let's say the mock test papers which I had given to you half an hour before your examination is the vaccine. Whereas the test paper which I shared with you half an hour before the examination is actually the COVID virus itself. And the person who is taking the test here is a person who is getting infected or being vaccinated for the COVID virus. Now, where are the chances of developing a strong immunity if that person is able to survive? Definitely when that person is infected with the COVID virus, with the actual novel coronavirus. A lot of countries are banking themselves up, are putting lots of hopes and making lots of promises. In India, even the election promises on the COVID vaccine. But how effective can this vaccine actually be? When contacting the COVID virus itself is not able to provide you long-term immunity, as discussed previously with respect to reinfections, what can a vaccine do which is supposed to mimic the COVID virus in the first time? I may be totally wrong, and I pray that I'm totally wrong, and we do end up finding a solution for the COVID pandemic so that we can go back and have our normal lives back. I'm not here to frighten you. I'm not here to scare you. But these are some things which needs to be known to each and every one of us. The promise of a vaccine is making most of us complacent, is making most of us negligent to the 6 months of hardship we have sustained in order to remain COVID free. So the best we can do is stay home, stay safe, maintain social distancing, use a mask whenever you are outside your home.